All right, good morning, peoples. Let's jump into Bitto and Ybit, and I'll have a couple more GDXY and AMC. All right, so on Bitto and Ybit, we had a nice move. Guess what? We weren't capped. That's always the plus, right? So Bitto moved up 5.27 and we moved up 4.37. So pretty good move. And then I wanted to point out something unique here when we get there, but let's go through the rest of it first. So there were no new trades, but we had volume. Whoops, I got these backwards. I type it, drag down, and then the drag doesn't work and it resorts. There's always a few little nuances that happen here. I found one of my OBS commands I use on the keyboard. If I point it to my second monitor on the spreadsheet, it wipes out the last thing I did, and it's a shortcut to start OBS and stop OBS. So I got a few little things with my setup that I couldn't figure out why something was happening. So apologizing earlier in one of my videos. That's what happened. It messed my whole second sheet up. Okay, so let's keep going on this pack track. So let's look at our weeklies. So at first glance, it looks like we're in trouble. We got the Bitcoin conference, things are moving up. We got 2450 strike prices, 3.11% with Bitcoin. Oh no, right? Well, not quite that straightforward because, again, this fund is unique, sometimes unique to a disadvantage, but we sat on top of Bitto. Bitto, and I showed you this, I think, in holdings, just real quick. So Bitto pays a dividend. So when Yieldmax was looking to use Bitto as the proxy because it's a ProShares very large fund with high volume of options. So it was a perfect candidate for them being Yieldmax, to utilize Bitto as the underlying. And it only paid a dinky little dividend. This is when they were applying, right, on their prospectus what they were going to do. Over 5 months, it paid 84 cents. Well, welcome to 2024. Over the last 5 months, from March through July, it's paid $6.82. So it's paying the kind of yield that you would expect from Ybit. And it was much higher. So it's had the same kind of NAV reduction that Ybit's experiencing when I almost said Bitto, when BTC moves down. The only issue is it doesn't get capped, right? You see, I remember it after I said right. I'm still laughing at that commenter. I forget how much I said. So it does not get capped because it's using CME futures, and we're writing weekly naked calls and have our synthetic long, and that's referred to as a cover call strategy when you write the naked call. And so what happens is when we run by it, we're in trouble. It eats away our long side, and Bitto doesn't have that issue, but it does have to recover its dividend, which of course Ybit has to do also. So you see this, the 5 months before it, it paid 190, but nothing like the last 5 months. So anyway, why am I telling you this again now? Because it's relevant that August 1, which is Thursday of this coming week, is the X-dividend day. So ProShares will announce the dividend for Bitto, and then the next day that's magically gone. So when you write options, and thank goodness the guys are on top of it. I beat up the fund managers enough, but when they do something, and this is like a regularly scheduled thing, they're told, they always know it's the end of the month. They always know the date. So they take that into account when they write these. So it looks like we're only 74 cents away, right? The difference between 24.50 and 23.76. But technically, that's not true, right? So if you come up here, I could do it just for the sake right now and add. I'm guessing their dividend will be $1.20 or so. They paid $1.50, $1.76, but their stock was a lot higher too. So let's play $1.30 here, and we'll make this 25.80. Whoops. Yeah. So look at that. We're 8.5% away as opposed to 3.11. So just so you know, it's not as bad as it looks. Who knows, again, with Trump speaking, how well we do. But again, it has to last for the week. And this ex-dividend thing doesn't come into play until Thursday. So they just adjust the options prices, right? So knowing that's going to happen, we're not going to run against a lower number. All right, let me get that out of the way. Let's go over to holding and work through this. So let's take a look at our synthetic first. So with it moving up on our 25,735 contracts, now remember, they write one way out there at the 35 price, so we collect a lot of money. It's not like they don't have the cash to pay us. It's just we tend to have this big liability on the synthetic, which we still do, but it's coming down because we're moving up. So right now it's 29, almost 30 million. And you can see that that's up quite a bit from where it was the day before. So it's been 30, it's been 33, it's been 38. Where did we close? We closed at 1697. So pretty nice. Not bad at all. 1681's fair value. So we're 16 cents over. I double checked all the math here, so everything it's not something I did wrong there. Let me look at July. Yep, 1697, 2376. Okay, so what else? Well, on our weeklies, until they adjust for that, whatever that payout is, $1.20, $1.30, I think it would be in that range because, again, I think the stock price was higher. You could look up June 30th because the last X date was July 1, and that would tell you. But it's close enough. Let me do that while I'm at it. Well, unless I go somewhere where they actually show the dates. Um, I'd have to get the daily chart. I'm not going to do that for right now, but it's somewhere in that $1.20, $1.30, could be a $1.40 range. So my point is on these guys, we're behind, right? We're 75 cents we wrote and we'd have to buy them back for $1.10. These we wrote for 600,000, we have to spend 2 million. But again, we've got a cushion. Once that drops, that's going to help us. It won't, obviously, if this thing runs to 27 and what Trump says, and there's a lot of FOMO and BTC. But the good news, we'll make some money over on our synthetic. All right. So let's get to payouts. Let's see if there's anything else. I showed you this, showed you the graphic. Cash is all updated. Okay, yeah, let's go over to no synthetic put on. Let's go to our payouts. So we have $2.18, right? And this now is 29.9. So we'll call that 30. So we're fine, right? We've got money in the kitty, and I told you what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to pay us around the 81 IV yielding, right? So the IV is close to that. So they're going to pay us at this annual yielding rate, high 70s, low 80s. Now our price is up. We may get lucky and get a little bit more money out of it. Let's see what it has to be. Yeah, we get $1.14. Let's see what that does for us. Yep, that hits the 80 mark. So you see what I'm doing here. That's what I think is going to take place. And trust me, I should know because I was the one saying when this first scenario hit, right? This was the first payday and I saw 666. I said, "Oh, we're going to get 250 plus," right? They had the money, but they had that big paper loss and they showed me real quick that they knew about it and they weren't willing to pay. So I don't forget things like that, right? So we had another massive situation here. But remember, the price is coming down. So these two yielded about the same annual rate. So that's why I think, depending on where we are in the price, um, that could dictate. If we come back up, like last month, we were in the 17. So we could get up there, right? If we got up and based on the fact that, but again, we don't declare until the 6th. So we've got a little bit of time, even the move up next week. We'll see. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. I got a couple more to do this weekend morning, and then I can go do something else besides the market. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. For fun and entertainment, hope you were entertained. Okay, see you guys. Bye for now.